So it's JuJuan Buford broadcast from Detroit metropolitan area, and needless to say, it's a challenging time for all of us, psychologically, soon to be materially, if people aren't feeling the pinch already, across the nation, across the world as we grapple with the pandemic. And look, if you're allowing yourself to be inundated by the news, you might be feeling like you want to bury your hand in the sand, right? Grab hold tight to something and just kind of wait it out. And if you're an entrepreneur, you're really caught up in the crosshairs of those feelings, right? You have the pressure of continuing to build your business, to continue to be solvent, to be viable, to meet the need of your clients and meet the need of prospects in the marketplace. But also you want to be respectful. You want to be acutely aware of the anxieties and fears that individuals may be dealing with right now. And so it's tough. But at the same time, what I'd encourage entrepreneurs specifically to consider is putting your head in the sand and disappearing is actually the last thing you should be doing right now. Yes, I don't want you to misconstrue this message. You need to be sensitive and empathetic of the fears, anxieties, concerns that individuals have right now. But this is also a period of time where your neighbors, your community members, your family, your friends, your clients, your prospects, people who see you coming and going need you to stand up and actually be more present than ever. Look, and be the leaders that entrepreneurship requires, and quite frankly, be the leaders that this moment requires. If you've been serving people, if you've been truly serving people, if your heart's been in the right place and you've been meeting the needs of individuals whom you've been fortunate to engage, periods like this are actually the times in which you've really been building for. Are you going to need to do things differently? Of course you are. Perhaps you may need to shift your services or your value proposition to meet the prevailing needs that are transpiring right now. Yes, this is true. But during these times, you also need to be more focused than ever on simply solving problems. And once again, if you've already been doing this, you've kind of built in some currency, right, with the marketplace, whether it be on social media or offline. If you've already been about that business of meeting the challenges and truly meeting the needs of others, your efforts and your marketing and your approach, if you're truly been empathetic, is not going to be misconstrued at all, right? So yeah, you need to adopt different approaches, of course. You need to be aware, of course. But solving problems and disseminating information, providing solutions, that's what we do. I mean, at the end of the day, especially right now, people are being inundated. There's enough mediums, there's enough sites out there for individuals to overload on what's going on with the coronavirus right now. And as entrepreneurs, we actually need to be a calming voice. We need to be finding ways to help individuals get through this period of time. And we should be a reflection of that in terms of the methodology and approach that we adopt when we're engaging individuals as well. One of the biggest misnomers right now that's being circulated is that people are running away from social interactions, that social interactions are a bad thing, and we are being basically told to basically disappear into holes, right? Disappear into our homes and not interact. When the reality of the matter is that's just language that is being communicated improperly or the wrong way. Yes, we should be limiting our physical interactions, particularly with those individuals who are most vulnerable to the pandemic. But in terms of our social interactions, that shouldn't change not one bit, right? Instead of doing most things belly to belly and offline, so to speak, now it really is time to go online, right? Now's the time for individuals to be interacting and engaging with each other more than ever before, because now people are in a place where they may feel more isolated because they lack that engagement, they lack that interaction. And so as entrepreneurs, it's a prime opportunity for us to really engage people in a more comforting way, and a way that is more permission-based, in a way that's less intrusive and more inquisitive. And look, while people are in their homes, this is a great time to do that, right? So there's no reason to shut down your interaction with individuals. You just have to, once again, change your approach and lead with your heart instead of the financial imperatives of your business. So instead of growing frustrated, once again, because you're not able to go out for that late afternoon or early evening gathering, or to sit down with someone eyeball to eyeball and belly to belly, look, you can schedule a Zoom meeting, right? You can do an online conference call, start meeting or go to meeting. That's one strategy and one tool that I believe most of us are kind of aware of, and those of us who aren't, it's an excellent way, right? Because here's the thing, a phone call, nothing can beat actually looking in someone's eyeballs, even if it's done video conference call, to actually see the expressions on individuals' faces where you can really ascertain whether or not a person is leading with their heart, whether or not they're putting your best interests first. And so that's always going to beat a phone call. So if you're not video conferencing, or if you're not familiar with the technology, now's the time, right? Watch a couple of YouTube videos and become familiar with these tools. Before today, you may have been able to schedule an appointment with someone, and you two get together and meet for lunch, brunch, breakfast, whatever the case may be, and you may not really know what each other brings to the table, right? You're just kind of do it out of a sense of polity or a sense of curiosity. Well, of course, given today's circumstances, that's just not going to happen now, right? If someone literally jumps in their vehicle and drives away from their residence or from their office, they have to know what they're getting into. And so now is a great time to curate your online presence, right? To add testimonials that are written, or add testimonies that are video testimonies, right? To add more credibility to your profile. Now is the time to consider curating a capability statement. Now is the time to look at your content critically and ask yourself, is my content really pouring into the lives of others? Am I really establishing myself as an SME? When individuals look at my content, are they learning something? Or is every bit of content I have out there simply a reach for someone's wallet, right? Now's the time to really take serious evaluation of those things, because that will determine whether or not someone is inclined to meet with you before, after certain hours when businesses are closed and physical interaction is being limited, right? When engaging online, especially for the first time, right? Now is the time to cut back on this verbally accosting individuals, or if you're doing it on LinkedIn, right, literally writing messages and accosting people and just spraying them with how wonderful your services are and how wonderful you are and how you can change their lives, right? You got to cut that out. Here's the thing. Imagine how it would feel if you were sitting at a coffee shop and someone randomly sat down across the table from you, threw down their flyers, their brochures, opened up their pamphlets. Matter of fact, they helped themselves to a cup of coffee and they just went in without even taking the time to ask you your name and who you are and what you're about. That's what a lot of individuals do online. And especially, look, if you've been doing it, it's time to cut that out, right? And we've all been guilty of it at one point or time or another. I know I can willingly admit, when I first jumped online, I was certainly guilty of it. But you realize at the end of the day, an online interaction is the same as an offline interaction at the park, at the mall, at the movies, or whatever. People, that's not how they naturally engage. People typically ask questions of each other. They share information about what their interests are and what's most important to them. That's the approach you should be taking when you're engaging people and when you're sharing information or interacting with folks in their inboxes, right? Instead of, once again, talking about everything that's so absolutely important to you, ask questions like, what is most important to you? Like, what are you taking aim at? I took a look at your profile. I took a look at your interests. I took a look at your professional background. I'm just asking, what's your priority? What are you taking aim at? Where do you see yourself 3-5 years from now? Is there any way in which I can engage and be supportive of you, right? That's how you really should be leading. You should be taking the same approach that you would if you were looking to make a new friend, right? And if you think about social media, that's what it was really designed to do in the beginning, right? To create interaction, for people to befriend each other and to create connectedness, right? Not to jump online and basically inundate individuals with all your pamphlets and brochures digitally, right? So volunteer resources, volunteer insight, volunteer information, be a help to individuals, especially right now, right? Find ways to be of service to individuals first and earn their business, right? Think about it as if you're providing information, providing insight and assistance, so you can actually ask for permission, right, to do business with someone before you assume that they actually want to engage with you in the first place. Now's the time, quite frankly, to reach out to your current clients, right? Whether they be small business owners, whether they be consumers, or whether they it's the HR person or the CFO or the CEO of a corporation that you're dealing with. Now's the time to engage them, not run away and not interact with them. Let them know that, look, you're not simply reaching out for them to buy more services and products, that you are genuinely interested in continuing to be of service and to be available, to be present, to be consistent, to be reliable, right? So now is a good time to follow up with your current clients or individuals whom you've interacted with or serviced in the past. Not to say, hey, I got this greatest, newest, fantastic tool and you should buy this for me. But look, we've done business together. I'm aware of some of the challenges you may be dealing with now. And I just want you to know that I'm here for you. And that we may already have an established relationship, right? But I want to make sure you know that I'm here to service you and you can rely upon me. Or, of course, if there's any way in which I can be of service to you to meet any new needs or anything or any new considerations as a result of what transpired, I want you to know that I'm here. And it's not simply enough to make an email, right? You want to dedicate time. You want to pick up the phone and make phone calls. So, a couple things, right? To take into account that you can apply right now to actually increase your business, or once the sun comes up, because the sun is going to come up tomorrow, be in a situation where you actually have more goodwill, where you've planted more seeds of prosperity by simply taking into account the steps I shared, right? I just had a conversation not too long ago with an adult daycare owner, so this is kind of right on time. And this is the nature of the conversation we had, right? This adult daycare owner services seniors. So talk about a super sensitive situation, right? And she has to call on clinics. She has to call on hospitals to continue acquiring more seniors for her adult daycare so she can remain afloat. So it's not like she can disappear. She disappears, she's out of business. But at the same time, you don't want to contact individuals in such a way and be so unabashed that you're offending the sensibility of prospective clients or your current clients, right? So how about if instead of calling up individuals and promoting how many beds she has, or promoting the anticipated expenses, or promoting her years or the staff's years of expertise, all these things are important, right? Instead of promoting location and how many licensed professionals she has, what if instead she simply made the phone call and said, look, my name is, in this instance, JuJuan Buford. I'm with Respectful Adult Daycare. And I'm simply calling to find out, number one, do you have a moment? You press pause. You give them an opportunity to tell you yay or nay. Be respectful, right? Because individuals, particularly depending on the industry they're in, particularly if they're in human resources, their wheels are spinning from the moment they hit the door till they leave, given everything that's transpiring right now. So ask them, look, do you have a moment for you just go in, right? Thank them for their time. If they say, yeah, I have a couple moments. Look, I know you may be dealing with stress. You may be going through some changes right now. And look, I know the caretake of your senior patients is of the utmost importance to you. And I'm calling to find out what's most important to you right now. I'm calling to find out what's most important regarding the transport, the care, any special considerations that you would like adult daycares to be aware of, especially given what's going on with the pandemic. Look, I know right now might not be a good time, right, after they've shared the information with you. You may not want to just go right in. You may say, thank you so very much for sharing that. I know right now might not be a good time, but would you be okay if we scheduled a video conference call? Would you be okay if we scheduled a Zoom call? Would you be okay if we scheduled an online conference call for all the 10-15 minutes that will allow me to share with you how we can meet the specific needs that you shared? And of course, if you're taking notes and you're paying attention, you want to repeat back the information, the insights, the perspective, the concerns they had, right? So you want to list them out. So I'd like to take time to meet with you and address these specific concerns that they listed out, right? Would a morning or afternoon be more convenient? Would a Tuesday or Thursday work? Great. Would you be okay if I sent you an email confirmation and reminder? So I want to make sure you have the link. I'm assuming that you may not have a pen and pad right now to take the notes. I want to make this as convenient for you as possible. Fantastic, great. And I'm assuming you don't mind an occasional reminder between now and then, right? You want to take a softer approach. You're asking for permission. You're not calling up individuals when they're at their most stressed and basically trying to browbeat an appointment out of them and browbeat an opportunity for you to earn revenue and income. Be sensitive to what needs they may have and the changing conditions on the ground in terms of their needs and what's going on in their lives, right? You know, it's an approach that's worked. Fortunately, it did work for that adult daycare owner. She was able, despite the circumstances that are transpired, to set several appointments. So know that this isn't an academic conversation we're having here. This is a practice that can work very well for you, to just take a softer approach. Also consider the use of surveys, right? Utilizing Calendly to schedule video conference and conference calls, and embed in the Calendly profile a link where they can fill out a survey where you can fully qualify individuals. During a time like this, individuals are more inclined to fill out surveys, especially if they're sitting home or they're in a situation where they're more likely to be attentive to their phone and their computers. They're going to be more inclined to set aside that extra 2 minutes to fill out a quick survey, right? So don't send them dissertations. Look, the bottom line, once again, it's just not the time to disappear, right? Now's the time to become more familiar with the individuals whom you're engaging with, and for them to become more familiar with you. For you to take more of a consultative approach, be more accommodating. In other words, do what your competition isn't doing, right? Don't be that business owner or that entrepreneur that just disappears off the face of the earth, because here's the thing. When the sun does come up, you're actually going to be further behind than when these conditions began in the first place. What you want to do is you want to lead with support. You want to lead with being a problem solver. You want to lead with being that individual, that go-to person that can help alleviate concerns and challenges that individuals may be dealing with at the moment. You want to sow the seeds of goodwill and trust, right? So I trust this information was well received. And look, you can count on more tips and strategies in the coming days and weeks regarding solutions, right? Solutions that entrepreneurs and business owners can take to continue to navigate this challenging time, build thriving businesses, and continue to be of service to our communities.